Today we're making handmade whipped body butter that looks like you bought it in some fancy boutique when in actuality you did it in your craft room with your weird little friend. That's me. Don't be intimidated. Whipped body butter may seem bougie, but it's actually one of the easiest things I've ever made in my life. All you're going to need is some shea butter, cocoa butter, and a carrier oil. I'm using sweet almond oil, but you can use jojoba oil if you have a nut allergy. Yes, you can just do shea or cocoa butter, but I really like the way they feel mixed together. And this is my craft show, so. Optional ingredients, we have rose hip seed oil and vitamin E, both amazing for the skin, both totally optional in this recipe. Also, arrowroot powder. This can really cut down on that greasy feel that pretty much all body butters leave behind. It's the nature of the beast. This helps a little, not a lot, not essential. Now, essential oils are also totally optional here. We've already got a really rich cocoa-y smell going on with the cocoa butter, so if you want to add something, keep that in mind and add something that's going to blend well with that scent. Citrus and peppermint are both nice if you want to go with a chocolate orange, chocolate peppermint type Christmas vibe. Ta-da! We're going to use a double boiler to melt down all of our ingredients. Now you can use any pan for this. This is specifically my crafting pan. It might get a little gunky, so I keep it separated. Boil a little water in a saucepan and then place another bowl on top. Wow, you've just made a double boiler. Can you believe? You can use any Pyrex bowl for this. This is specifically a double boiler. It's a cheap one. Just make sure you don't burn your little fingers. Okay? Once the water starts to boil, place your pan on top and let the magic begin. We're going to set aside all of our oils and we're going to add our shea butter and cocoa butter to the mix. You just got to stir. All we're doing here is melting down the shea and cocoa butter until they're nice and smooth and liquidy, which really shouldn't take that long. And just like that, once it's all mixed up, and we can remove the heat. Once we've removed it from the heat, we can go ahead and mix in our oils. Sweet almond or jojoba oil, half a teaspoon of vitamin E oil, and half a teaspoon of rose hips. Whoop. Maybe a smidgen more, because I like it. And give it a good mix. Once it's all one golden beautiful syrupy color, you're gonna pour it into an ugly mixing vessel. As you can see, the lines on my cup are all weird because using it for making body butter has gooed all the lines off of my Dollar Tree mixing cup. Can you just make it in this? Yes. But I don't like to. So I'm going to transfer it to my cooling vessel. Am I being crazy about scraping this bowl out? Kind of. But also, anything you leave in there is going to harden and you will have to scrub off. So think about that. I know what you're thinking. Dottie, you forgot half the ingredients. No, I did not. We're going to put this in the fridge until it's just about set, and then we will be back. Woo! After about 30 minutes in the fridge, it should be hard enough to whip. However, if you forgot about it for a couple hours, feel free to set it on the counter for about 30, and then it should be ready to whip again. We're looking for solid but squishable. However, if it's just a little too cold, that's okay. Got a regular cheap old hand mixer. This is a tougher job than it ought to be. So we're going to go in with both beaters. Once it's nice and whipped up, you're going to go ahead and slowly add in your arrowroot powder. If you want to add in essential oils, now is the time to do so. I have decided to go with citrus to get a bit of chocolate orange theme going. Have these chocolate oranges. You want to put in about 15 drops. I wasn't counting. Just give it a little beep, little quick mix. If you want more of a scent, you want to go with a filtered shea and cocoa butter that have less smell. That gave it enough of an orange scent with the chocolate to be delicious. But you don't want to just keep adding, because it'll be not so delicious feeling on your skin. But just give it a quick old mix. And there you go. Go ahead and lick the beaters. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. And don't forget, orange is a flavor of the night. It's going to make you a little more photosensitive. All right, jelly beans. The next step in our process is going to be to get a piping bag ready. As such. Now, I like to wear gloves during this process so I don't get smudgies all over the glasses. If you're making these for someone that's not your mom, you might want to wear gloves during the whole process. Scoop it in, just like if it's frosting, except for much thicker and more messy. Give her a spin. Still gonna have an air bubble or two in there, but that's okay. And once your bag is prepped, set that aside. Your gloves a little wipe and your space a little clean. Now, if we're being extra thrifty, this is one of my favorite projects for using up my jar hoard. But since we're trying to be a little bit bougier with this one, I'm gonna go ahead and use a fancy jar. And it even has a fancy Sandy thing in it. So, fancy jar, fancy little Sandy thing. We're going to put on a clean paper towel. I like to use the big star thingy icing tip. What's it called? I don't know. I'm not a baker. I just do crafts. But this is from the pastry section. And you're just going to do little swirls around and build up. Okay? The best you can do is try to get it in one go. And if you can't, that's okay. I didn't make it. See? It's okay. We're doing our best. We aim to try. Don't worry. It'll still look bougie. And just like that. And there we have a little bougie jar. Voila. I might have enough for one more, so let's try to fill it up. I'm feeling like we may not make it all the way, but we're going to give it a go. Now, this one, she's less bougie, but you can give her to your best friend. She won't mind. Just on the lid. Give this one a little smack down. You're going to want to take off your greasy gloves and give these a little clean too. I'm going to use a rubbing alcohol just to get all of those little fingy prints off. We could stop here with this beautiful professional amber jar, or we could go a step further. And we're going to. This is not product placement. These are just the ones I bought because they were cheap. And they work wonderful. Thanks to a little help from our friend Canva. So let's slide over there.
Alrighty, we're going to pop over to Canva, and using this lovely template that I have linked in the notes, we're going to go ahead and write out a label for our whipped body butter. This is an amazing place to put in inside jokes if you want to do a little tease, or just personalize the gift and make it super sweet. The choice is yours. You want to go ahead and put the ingredients on there too. Everyone wants to know what they're putting on their skin. We love it. And remember, when you print these out, if you're using the 4-ounce jars, it's going to be a little too big off the bat, so you're going to want to shrink it to about 82%. Alrighty, we're going to head back to our craft table and slice up these beauties with either a paper slicer or just a ruler and scissors with a little bit of patience.
Perfectamundo.
Once you've measured both labels to make sure that they fit, go ahead and give your jar a wipe with some rubbing alcohol just to get any fingerprints off, and place your label. It's easy to start in the middle if you want to make sure it's not crooked or one side. These labels are super forgiving. You can stick the back one close to the front one or in the middle. It does make it a little bit easier if you go with the front label like I'm doing here. Now if you get any air bubbles, you can just peel these right back off and stick them back down. Like I said, super forgiving. And just like that, you've made yourself some beautiful bougie body butter. It makes the perfect gift for a loved one or for yourself. And that's about all I have to say about that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and tell me what you want to make next. Thanks for watching.